What's up, everyone? Today we have a Makita. It is a EK7301 saw that I got with its brother, but this one I wanted to get done first because it's the most complete, and I'm waiting for a part for the other one. Well, I still have to order it, but that one I'm not sure about. But look at this one. We are going to... It doesn't run. That's all I know. I don't know if it doesn't have fuel, if it just needs a tune-up, what's happening. The person just gave me like 5 things and said, take care of it. I want these running. Let me know when they're done. So I'm going to oblige. So I think the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take off the air filter housing and the air filter and look at the fuel, and we'll take it from there. The filter on this actually doesn't look all that bad. Kind of surprised. Usually these are just a special type of dirty. Unless the person uses water, in which case it's just a different type of special type of dirty. Oh, I did pull on the wait a minute. If I remember correctly, that holds down. It does. Okay. Well, the carb is still going to be there, so that's fine. Okay. Let's put this off to the side. So we have a plug. Our pressure relief is pretty good feeling. Usually they can be a little rough. The compression is definitely decent. Let's look at that fuel. Why do people find it so necessary to make these so tight? All you're gonna do is just ruin the seal. Ooh, I definitely see fuel. Do I see a primer bulb anywhere though? Let's see. I don't think there was on this style. Pretty sure there wasn't. Let's see, that should be choke. No, that's choke. That's on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to see if, like I said, the person has gave me like 5 things and said, make it all good. Run it up, tune it up, everything. Okay, so I think I'm going to pull on it. Now, because it doesn't have a primer, it might take a few pulls. So I'm going to pull like, I don't know, 8 or 10 times. Give it a chance to suck fuel up, assuming it can. Assuming the fuel's okay. And if it does run and just needs a tune-up, well, I guess we'll tune it up. If it doesn't, then we will put a little help down the throat of the carburetor. Was not expecting that. Well, I was not expecting that at all. Looks like we just have a plain old simple tune-up. So putting in a BPR M7. It's an NGK. I got a little dirty with my hand. Oh, probably would help if I tightened it, wouldn't it? And got myself dirty and the plug dirty. Oh well. That should be pre-gapped for you. We have this filter, which, like I said, isn't horrible. This pre-filter, though, looks completely fine. Not going to worry about that. This is a Makita filter. It says it's for DCP 6400, 7311, all kinds of machines, but it's part number 394-173-010A. We're going to actually cover your ears and possibly eyes. Just make sure there's no dust down there. Let's do the same thing here. Okay, new filter goes on. The cover is going to go on. When you do this, it can be a little hard to align the screws up. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and zip those down and move on. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but on the cover itself, I was cleaning it, and this is NGK, the plug that we put in there, and then Bosch, AWS R6F, and then over here it says Champion RCJ6Y. Personally, I'm just not a fan of Bosch or Champions in two-cycle equipment. If I were you, if you do have to have any one of those two, I would probably choose a Champion, but if possible, get the NGK. So that was interesting. I never noticed that before. Now, there is a pre-filter on this. I unfortunately only have one, and that's for the other machine because it came with a little housing I'm going to get for it, or got it for it. So we'll have to buy another pre-filter. But I blew this one out, so it looks pretty good, and I soaked it with oil anyway. Well, not completely soaked, but put enough oil in there. It's going to be a little hard to show you, but in this particular model, you can actually look up the exhaust and see the spark arrestor. If it was dirty, you need to clean it out by taking the Phillips head. This should slide off, taking a torch and torching all of it off. Now, this looks very clean, so I don't need to do that. But that would be something you're going to want to do in addition to the general tune-up. If it was dirty, generally that's a, I don't want to say poor oil design, but just the type of machine, really. I mean, cheap oil will help with that. Good oil will help prevent it. I personally like using Eco oil. They even have oil that claims to clean out those types of spark arrestors, pistons, all that. I don't know if that works, but at the very least, if it says it cleans it, I'm assuming it's going to have a lower chance of it plugging it up. Well, a longer time before it's going to get plugged up. This next part, if it's your machine, you know what's in there, you know the age of it, and you know you're using good fuel, you can probably skip if it's fresh and good. If it's not, and you don't know the age of it, I drained the fuel and I completely just soaked the outside of it. By trying to open it. In here is a mixture of 45-to-1 non-ethanol fuel that was purchased about 3 weeks ago. Non-ethanol fuel will have a significantly longer, this is a thirsty machine, I don't know, shelf life than ethanol fuel, especially in a machine with delicate diaphragms and rubber pieces in its carburetor. Doing this will hopefully prevent it from having issues in the future. Because while it did start today, if I gave it back to the person and they didn't use it until next spring, I don't know this person's schedule, if they use it often or not. I'm assuming not, because, well, I have like 5 of them. But to put in comparison, this is the fuel that came out of it. It's definitely older. It's mixed, but I don't know. That mixture seems a little lean to me. Could be right. Could just be the type of oil too. I'm gonna start it up again and let it run for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that's because I want to give the opportunity for the old fuel to evacuate the carb and the new fuel to replace it. That will make sure, I mean, you can empty the fuel out of the tank all you want, but if there's still that old fuel in there, that's going to cause a problem, the problem we're trying to avoid. So we need to get it out there. The easiest way is to, with a primer bulb, flush it out. The harder way is going to be to take a carb apart and drain it out. The medium, the road way is what we're going to do. We're going to let it run because we know it does. Okay, let it run for a good amount of time, and the old fuel, I feel pretty confident it has been removed from it. These are gas guzzlers, to say the least. I mean, imagine like a big chainsaw. That's what this is, except without the chain. And I let it run for at least 5 minutes, and not only idle, but it was running with me going over there, high throttle, low throttle, mid throttle, after it was warmed up for a little bit. It got it done. Something I did notice though is I noticed when the fuel was starting to change, I could actually hear it. Like the very first high rev seemed a little choppy, and then this in the middle of that high rev I heard it get clear. Then I let it idle again, and then the next time I was thinking, maybe it's the mixture, maybe it needs to be tuned. Next time I did it, it was sounding perfect all the way through. It's a little boggy, but that's just like the nature of these. You're not supposed to go from 0 to 100 all of a sudden. You'll never do that unless you get the fuel injected ones. Now, this is going to be the tune-up of the Makita. Look again for the next one. Well, we probably have to do a little bit more work to it. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe we'll just do a whole bunch of tune-ups. But at the very least, if you have one of these saws or something very similar to it, and hopefully you took a little value from this. And this is a tune-up of the Makita EK7301. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely leave a comment below. Definitely subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. And one final bit, the fuel that's in here does have the Echo Armor Boost oil in there. That's the one that claims to clean it out. So I don't know if that's true, but since we don't want to add any dirt to or any carbon build up to the arrestor, and there's really not much to clean, I think this is a good thing to keep in there. Okay, that's my little random bit. Have a good evening. Later.